We're going to be talking about the three different types of plate boundaries: convergent, divergent, and transform boundaries. So let's focus on the layers of the Earth. So see, we're going to actually be focusing here at the crust in the upper part of the mantle. So we're going to take a closer look at what these boundaries look like at the crust in the upper mantle. So hope you have your colors ready to go. Let's begin our drawings. So first we're going to draw the crust that we live on. So we're drawing a convergent boundary, so that means they're coming together, two plates, and then we got a volcano going on over here. So you're going to start with the crust. We're going to label that crust on both sides. All right, now that we got the crust, let's go ahead and add the mantle, the upper part of the mantle. The upper part of the mantle next to the crust is still very solid. So that's going to be the next layer we draw. So solid, mantle. All right, when that upper part of the mantle melts, it's actually going to go back up and create this volcano. So we're going to draw that this actually melts and goes back up, and now we have a magma chamber creating our volcano. So we're going to label this volcano. All right, underneath this solid mantle is where the crust and the upper part of the mantle are starting to melt. So this is going to be the molten, meaning it's not quite solid, but it's not quite liquid, it's in between. So it's going to be molten magma of the mantle. And the same thing, this is going to be molten magma. So go ahead and draw that to your picture. Now, what is driving these plates to crash into each other? Convection currents. So we're going to add the convection currents. So since the plates are driving into each other, that means the convection currents are moving towards each other. So we're going to draw that this plate on this side is moving towards the plate on the other side. So these arrows are moving towards each other. And then when the Earth cools down, it forms solid rock. And so let's add some blue. And then it's going to go down and be remelted. It's going to go down and be remelted. So it's a constant cycle of heating and cooling. So these are your convection currents. Now we need to label the lithosphere and asthenosphere. So we said that we live on the crust, and the solid part of the mantle that the crust is on is going to be called your lithosphere. So let's label that. So these two parts here are your lithosphere. Your asthenosphere is the molten part of the upper mantle. So that's going to be this part here. That's your asthenosphere. Now, the mantle in this whole picture, we're going to go on the other side here. It's going to include the solid, mantle, and the molten magma. And that's going to be your mantle. And that is the basics of how you draw a convergent boundary.